How's it going, everybody? DB Sports back with my week 2 NFL predictions video. Last week got off on a poor start. We went 8-8 last year. I'll throw that somewhere on the screen here, but we went 8-8. It was a rough week, but we're looking to bounce back here in week 2, just like my Packers. But before we can get to the Packers and the Bears on Sunday night, we've got to go through our predictions. So, first of all, tonight, the Chargers and the Chiefs. Chiefs looked very impressive against the Cardinals last week. I'm rolling with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at home. The Chargers are a very good team, but I just don't think they got enough here for the Chiefs. Moving on, the Dolphins and the Ravens. I really like the Ravens here. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think this will be a close game. I think this will be a good game. Potentially two of the AFC representatives in the playoffs. But I'm going to lean with Lamar Jackson here and the Ravens. Although Tyreek Hill, big game coming for Tyreek Hill. Jets and the Browns. I really want to pick the Jets. I really want to have faith that they'll go to Breece Hall. They'll stop with this Michael Carter business. But I just don't think they will. I don't think that they're fully committed to Breece Hall yet. And I don't think that they're going to win this one. The Browns, man, as much as I hate to say it, they looked okay against Carolina. They looked okay. They looked good enough to get the win there. I think they moved to 2-0 on the season. They knock off the Jets at home. The Commanders and the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions at home. The Commanders struggled against Jacksonville. Granted, the Jags are improved. But the Lions really impressed me against the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a playoff team. The Lions showed well against the Eagles. I think they get a win here. They move to 1-1 on the season. They will beat the Washington Commanders at Ford Field. Colts and the Jags. Colts have just I don't know what to say about the Colts. I really don't. They have Andrew Luck and then he retires, and they have Carson Wentz and then he does bad, and then they get Matt Ryan and you think they're finally gonna figure it out, and then they're just still not. They still can't win week 1. They haven't won in Jacksonville since I believe 2014. I'm gonna pick the Colts, but I'm not very confident in it. But I can't pick the Jaguars. I'll pick the Colts, but I'm not confident in that one at all. Man, come on, Indy, please. Buccaneers and the Saints, division rival. The Saints have had Tom Brady's number occasionally, especially at home. But I don't think they've got enough firepower to beat the Buccaneers this early in the season. I think if this game was later in the year and it was in New Orleans, I might pick the Saints, but I think the Buccaneers, they looked a little shaky in week 1 against Dallas, but can't really say much for the Saints after looking as shaky as they did against the Atlanta Falcons. So I'll go with the Buccaneers in a close one here. Panthers and the Giants. Panthers disappointed me against the Browns last week. The Giants actually looked pretty good. Dare I say it? They looked pretty good against the Titans. They picked up a win. I'm gonna go with the New York Football Giants. I'm gonna go with Saquon Barkley and Danny Dimes. I think they're gonna move to 2-0 this year. I think they really impressed me week 1. They didn't let Tennessee get out in front of them. They actually did fairly well against Derrick Henry. So why not? Let's go with the Giants. Patriots at the Steelers. I think this is an interesting one. The Patriots were not impressive at all, or especially on offense against the Dolphins. I mean, they scored 7 points. They lost 20-7. They were just flat, and I think they come out flat again. Steelers at home, coming off the big overtime win over Joey B and the Bengals. I'm going with the Steelers here. I think they moved to 2-0. Falcons and the Rams. Rams were very disappointing on opening night, Thursday night. They did not look good at all. Matthew Stafford looked poor. Cam Akers wasn't involved at all. Allen Robinson wasn't involved at all. Cooper Kupp looked like the only guy out there trying, but they'll be better than the Falcons. They'll pick up their first win of the season at home. They'll knock off Atlanta. Seahawks pulled off the upset win on Monday night against the Denver Broncos, and they head to San Fran. They're taking on the 49ers. I don't know how I feel about this one. 49ers should probably just trade Jimmy G to the team like the Cowboys that needs a quarterback now. And then they should probably just start Brock Purdy, honestly, over Trey Lance. Because Trey Lance did not look great on Sunday against the Bears. So, I don't know. I really think the 49ers got some issues, but hard to see Seattle winning 2 games in a row. Plus, it was a primetime game in Seattle. That's on me for not knowing that. I guess they're still just going to win all of those. And it wasn't Russell Wilson. The Seahawks just win in primetime at home. So this one, not a primetime game, not at home. We'll roll with the 49ers. Bengals and the Cowboys. Cowboys, no Dak Prescott. That's going to hurt you. Bengals are going to be pissed after they lost to the Steelers. I like the Bengals big in this one in Jerry World. Joey B and the Bengals get in the win column here in week 2. Texans and the Broncos. Speaking of teams that are going to be pissed off, I know he's a God guy. I know he's a Christian guy. Russell Wilson's going to be livid with Nathaniel Hackett after the moronic decision, the coaching mistake of the century. Some are calling it, not really, but it was pretty bad. Kicking a 64-yard field goal instead of letting Russell Wilson 5 yards. Russell Wilson needs 5 yards, and you decide to kick a 64-yard field goal instead. Man, it's coaching decisions like that that'll get you an L against the Texans. But fear not, Denver. Broncos country. Let's ride into the sunset with a W here in week 2. You'll beat the Texans at home. Cardinals and the Raiders. The Cardinals were probably the second most disappointing team to me this past weekend. I know they don't have D-Hop, and I know it was the Kansas City Chiefs, but they just looked abysmal. Their secondary got picked apart. Their offense didn't get any points. Kyler Murray looked just flustered from everything that I saw. The Cardinals were very disappointing. And the Raiders at home, Devontae Adams' grandma is going to be at the game. It's her first time getting a chance to see him. I really want to pick the Cardinals. They're right up there for one of my favorite teams in the league, but I got to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Devontae Adams has a great game, a fantastic game here in week 2 against that Cardinals secondary. I think Devontae Adams and the Raiders cook the Cardinals up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner this weekend. I said the Cardinals were the second most disappointing team. That's because the first most disappointing team were my Green Bay Packers. I mean, are you serious? What in the hell did I watch on Sunday? No offense. Nobody could catch the football. Aaron Rodgers had no time in the pocket to do anything. The defense left the second or third best receiver, I'm going to say third or fourth best receiver in the league, wide open all day. They didn't get any pressure on Kirk Cousins. The safeties were terrible. We had Preston Smith on Justin Jefferson, Quay Walker on Justin Jefferson. I mean, oh God, it was one of the single worst performances from the Packers that I have ever seen. And that's saying something because they lost 38-3 against the Saints in week 1 last year, and then laid a goose egg at home and scored like 10 points and lost a playoff game at home to the 49ers less than 8 months ago. So I don't know. It was absolutely abysmal, but there is some upside. It was the most hostile environment that we'll see all year. It was week 1, so everybody's a little rusty. We didn't play our guys in the preseason. We weren't healthy. We're still not 100% healthy. So, all that being said, it's still the Bears that we're seeing on Monday night. It's the home opener, or Sunday night, excuse me. It's the home opener at Lambeau. The Bears may have beaten the 49ers, but I think the Packers will win this. They're favored by like 10 on Sunday night. I don't know if they'll cover 10-point spread, but I think they'll win it at home on Sunday night. And then for some reason there's 2 Monday night games. Can anyone explain to me in the comments why the hell there's 2 Monday games? And then not only that, they're overlapping. So one of them starts at 6:15 and the other one starts at 7:30. Why? Why is this a thing? I don't understand it. As you'll notice from the rest of my picks, there's a common theme. The home teams are winning a lot of the games this weekend, and that doesn't change with the Monday night games. Bills, probably the most impressive team week 1. They play the Titans, who lost at home to the Giants. I like the Bills pretty big in that one at this point. That game would have been one of the games for me to watch this weekend, but the Titans looked abysmal. The Bills looked absolutely fantastic. They won by 21 in LA against the reigning Super Bowl champs, and they turned the ball over 4 times. I mean, that's just incredible. The Bills will win that game by 1.5 miles. And then I like the Eagles at home against the Vikings. I know I just talked about how good the Vikings were on Sunday, but I do genuinely think that a lot of the reasons that the Vikings looked so good was because the Packers played so terribly. I like Za'Darius Smith. He'll get pressure on Jalen Hurts. Hurts is a little bit more mobile than Aaron Rodgers, though, so Vikings fans, keep an eye out for that. Keep him in the pocket, and you'll definitely have a shot in that one, but I'm taking the Eagles. So, quick summary, I think the only road teams I have winning are the Colts at Jacksonville, who haven't won there since 2014, the Bucs over the Saints, who have struggled on the road there, and the Bengals over the Cowboys. The rest of them, I've got the home teams across the board. So let me know in the comments down below who you've got winning this week. Hopefully we go better than 8-8 this week. Week 1 was just abysmal for me. I looked about as good as the Packers did on Sunday. So let me know in the comments down below who you think is going to win all the games this week. Let me know if you think I'm over or underrating anybody. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.